The alarm rang through the metal halls of Outpost Sigma 7. Lieutenant Jake Morrison jumped up from his chair and ran to the big screen that showed signals from deep space. His coffee cup fell to the floor with a crash, but he did not care. In his 3 years of watching the stars, he had never seen anything like this. "Commander Brooks, you need to see this right now," Jake shouted across the room. His hands shook as he turned up the volume on the speaker's dot. Commander Lisa Brooks walked over quickly. She was a tall woman with short brown hair and tired eyes. She had been running this deep space station for 5 years, and most days were boring. They watched for signals from other human ships or checked for space rocks that might hit Earth, but today was different. "What do you have, Jake?" she asked, looking at the strange patterns on the screen. "It's a signal from the Kepler 442 system. But Commander, this is not from any human ship. The language is completely different, and the math, it's not like anything we know." Lisa felt her heart beat faster. First contact with aliens was something every human had dreamed about, but she also felt scared. No one knew what aliens might want from humans. The speakers crackled with strange sounds. Then, somehow, the sounds changed into words they could understand. The voice was soft and sad. "This is Elder Vashti of the Zelani people. We send this message to anyone who can hear us. Our world is under attack. The Vorthic Empire has come to our home with big ships and powerful weapons. They want to take our planet and make us their slaves." Lisa and Jake looked at each other with wide eyes. "An alien race was asking for help," the voice continued. "We are a peaceful people. We have never hurt anyone. We heal the sick and study the stars, but the Vorthic are cruel. They destroy our cities and kill our children. We have asked the Galactic Council for help, but they only talk and do nothing. If anyone can hear this, please help us. We do not have much time." The signal ended, and the room became very quiet. Lisa's mind raced with questions. There was a Galactic Council? How many alien races were out there? And why had no one ever contacted Earth? "Jake, play it again," Lisa said. They listened to the message 3 more times. Each time, Lisa felt more angry. The Zelani people sounded kind and peaceful. The Vorthak sounded like bullies who picked on those who could not fight back. "Commander, what do we do?" Jake asked. "Should we tell Earth Command?" Lisa thought about it. Earth Command would want to study the signal for months. They would have meetings and write reports. By then, the Zelani might all be dead. Send a message to Admiral Kate Reynolds. Tell her we have first contact with aliens and they need help right away. Then start working on a reply to the Zelani. A reply? "Commander, we don't even know if our signal can reach them." "We have to try, Jake. If someone was attacking Earth, I would want someone to answer our call for help." Lisa walked to her office and sat down at her desk. She had to make a choice that might change everything for humans. She picked up her phone and called the Earth Defense Fleet. "This is Admiral Reynolds," came the voice from the phone. "Admiral, this is Commander Brooks at Outpost Sigma 7. We have received a distress signal from an alien race. They are under attack and need help." There was a long pause. "Say that again, Commander." "Aliens, Admiral, real aliens. They call themselves the Zelani. Another alien race called the Vorthic is attacking their world. They sent out a call for help. Are you sure this is not some kind of test or joke? I'm sending you the signal now. You can hear it yourself." "Admiral, these people are going to die if no one helps them." Lisa could hear Admiral Reynolds talking to other people in the background. Finally, she came back on the phone. "Commander, I'm sending 3 ships to your station. We need to study this signal and figure out what to do. Do not reply to the aliens until we know more." "Admiral, with respect, I think we should answer them now. They're scared and alone. At least we can tell them someone heard their message." "That's an order, Commander." "Wait for my ships." Lisa hung up the phone and felt frustrated. She walked back to Jake, who was still working on the alien signal. "Any luck figuring out how to send a message back?" she asked. "I think so. Their technology is different from ours, but I can change our signal to match theirs." "But Commander," Admiral Reynolds said to wait. Lisa looked at the screen where the alien message was still playing. She could hear the fear and sadness in Elder Vashti's voice. She thought about her own daughter back on Earth. If someone was attacking her home, she would want help right away. Jake, send this message. This is Commander Lisa Brooks of the human race. We have received your call for help. We are coming to help you. Do not give up hope. Jake stared at her. Commander, that's not following orders. Jake, sometimes doing the right thing is more important than following orders. Send the message. Jake's fingers moved over the controls. The message went out into space, traveling toward the Zilani world. Lisa hoped it would reach them in time. Meanwhile, far away in the Kepler 442 system, Elder Vashti was in a cave deep underground. Above him, Vorthak ships were destroying the beautiful crystal cities of his people. He had sent the distress signal hoping that anyone would hear it. His communication device made a soft sound. A new message was coming in. But this was impossible. The Galactic Council never answered quickly. And the other races usually ignored calls for help. The message started to play, and Vashti heard something amazing. A new voice, strong and determined, speaking a language he had never heard before. But somehow he understood the words. This is Commander Lisa Brooks of the human race. We have received your call for help. We are coming to help you. Do not give up hope. Vashti felt something he had not felt in days. Hope, whoever these humans were. They cared enough to answer. They were coming to help. He gathered his remaining people and shared the news. The humans were coming. Admiral Kate Reynolds stood in the command center of the Earth Defense Fleet headquarters. Around her, dozens of officers worked at their stations, preparing the largest space fleet humanity had ever assembled. 3 days had passed since Commander Brooks had sent that message to the aliens, and Kate was still angry about it. Admiral, we have 47 ships ready to go, reported Captain Nick Peterson, commander of the UHS Retribution. The medical ships are loaded with supplies and the weapon systems are all working. Kate nodded. How long to reach the Kepler 442 system? 4 days at maximum speed, but Admiral, are we sure about this? We don't know anything about these aliens or their enemies. Captain, I've listened to that distress call 20 times. Those Zilani people are in trouble, and they ask for help. That's all I need to know. Dr. Amy Foster, the fleet's best scientist who studied alien life, walked over to them. She carried a tablet with information about the signals they had received. Admiral, I've been studying the Zilani language and their technology. They seem to be very advanced in medicine and peaceful sciences, but their weapons are very weak. They're not fighters. What about these Vorthak who are attacking them? From what I can tell, they're a military empire. They use fear to control other races. But Admiral, there's something else. I've been listening to other signals from space. There's a whole community of alien races out there. They have something called the Galactic Council. Kate felt surprised. How many alien races are there? At least 50 that I can count, maybe more. And they all know about each other. Earth is the only world that has been alone. Captain Peterson frowned. Why hasn't anyone contacted us before? I don't know, but I think we're about to find out. On the other side of the galaxy, in a huge space station, the Galactic Council was having a meeting. The station was so big that it had its own weather. Representatives from many different alien races sat around a circle, talking about the Zilani situation. Ambassador Talrun, a tall blue alien with 4 arms, stood up to speak. The Zilani have asked for help. This is the 3rd time the Vorthak have attacked a peaceful world this year. And what do you suggest we do? Asked another representative, a small green creature with big eyes. The Vorthak are strong. Fighting them would cost many lives. We could send medical supplies, suggested a 3rd alien. And maybe some food for the refugees. That's not enough, Talrun said. The Vorthak will keep attacking other worlds if we don't stop them. The Council has rules, said an older alien with gray skin. We must vote on military action. Takes time. How much time? Talrun asked. 6 weeks for the first vote, then another 4 weeks for the second vote. Then we need to decide which races will send ships and how many. By then the Zilani will all be dead. That is unfortunate. But we must follow the rules. Talron felt angry, but he knew there was nothing he could do. The Galactic Council always worked slowly. It had been this way for thousands of years, but something strange was happening. The Council's communication officers were getting excited about something. Ambassador Talron called one of them. We're getting reports of unknown ships near the Zelani system. Big ships with powerful weapons. What race are they from? We don't know. They're not in our database, and they're not responding to our signals. Back in the Kepler 442 system, the human fleet came out of faster-than-light travel. Elder Vashti was in a ship escaping from his home planet when he saw them. The human ships were huge and dark, with weapons that looked very dangerous. "This is Admiral Kate Reynolds of the human fleet," came a voice over the radio. "We're here to help the Zelani people." "Can you hear us?" Vashti quickly answered. "Yes, we can hear you." "I am Elder Vashti. Thank you for coming so quickly." "Where are the Vorthak ships?" "They're all around our planet. They have destroyed most of our cities. Our people are hiding underground or trying to escape in small ships." "Don't worry, we'll get your people to safety." "How many Zelani are still on the planet?" "About 2 million. But the Vorthak ships will attack any ship that tries to land." "Let us handle the Vorthak. Just tell your people to stay in their hiding places until we come to get them." Captain Peterson's ship, the UHS Retribution, moved toward the planet. Around him, other human ships spread out in attack formation. The Vorthak had 50 ships around the planet, but they looked small compared to the human fleet. Commander Zethkar was in charge of the Vorthak attack. He was a large, ugly creature with sharp teeth and red eyes. When he saw the human ships, he became angry. "What are those ships?" "They're not in our database." "Unknown, Commander. They're trying to talk to us." "Tell them to leave or we'll destroy them." The human response came quickly. "This is Admiral Reynolds. You will stop your attack on the Zelani people and leave the system immediately." Zethkar laughed. "Who do you think you are? This is Vorthak territory now. Leave or die." "Wrong answer." The human fleet attacked. Their weapons were unlike anything the Vorthak had ever seen. Human ships moved fast and hit hard. Within minutes, 10 Vorthak ships were destroyed. "How are they doing this?" Zethkar screamed. "Our shields should protect us. Their weapons are too powerful and they're so fast." The Vorthak ships tried to fight back, but the humans were better fighters. More Vorthak ships exploded. The ones that were left started to run away. "Commander, we need to retreat." His officers told him, "No, we don't run from anyone." The 3 more Vorthak ships were destroyed. Finally, Zethkar gave the order to retreat. The remaining Vorthak ships ran away as fast as they could. Elder Vashti watched the battle from his escape ship. He could not believe what he was seeing. The Vorthak Empire had never been defeated. They were known throughout the galaxy as the strongest military force. But these humans had beaten them easily. "This is Admiral Reynolds," came the voice over the radio. "The Vorthak ships are gone. We're sending rescue ships to pick up your people." "How did you do that so quickly?" Vashti asked. "We'll explain later. Right now, let's get your people to safety." Human ships began landing on the Zelani planet. Human soldiers got out and helped the Zelani people. They gave them food and medical care. The Zelani had never seen aliens who were so kind and so strong. At the same time, Dr. Amy Foster was on one of the rescue ships. She met with Vashti and other Zelani leaders. "We want to thank you," Vashti said. "But we must ask, who are you?" "We have never heard of humans before. We're from a planet called Earth. We only learned about other alien races 3 days ago when we got your message." 3 days ago? But that's impossible. How did you get here so fast?" "We dropped everything and came to help. That's what humans do." Vashti felt amazed. The Galactic Council took weeks to make simple decisions. But these humans had traveled across the galaxy in just a few days to help people they had never met. "Are all humans like this?" he asked. Dr. Foster smiled. "When someone needs help, yes, we are." Far away, the Galactic Council was getting reports about the battle. They could not believe what they were hearing. The Vorthak fleet was destroyed. Ambassador Talron asked, Yes, by ships from an unknown race called humans. The battle lasted only 20 minutes. 20 minutes? The Vorthak had 50 ships. The human fleet was larger and much more powerful. And they didn't ask permission from anyone. They just attacked. Talron felt worried. If these humans could destroy the Vorthak so easily, what else could they do? The galaxy was about to meet its most dangerous species, and they had no idea what was coming. Colonel Ryan Hughes walked through the destroyed streets of Zelani City with his team of Special Forces soldiers. The buildings were made of beautiful crystal that had been shattered by Vorthak weapons. But what made Ryan angry was not the broken buildings. It was the small toys and children's clothes scattered on the ground. "Sir, we found another hiding place," called Sergeant Paul Davis. 50 more Zelani families are down there." "Good. Get them to the medical ships." "And Paul, be gentle with them. They're scared." Ryan had been a soldier for 15 years. He had fought in many battles on Earth, but this was different. The Zelani people had never hurt anyone. They were peaceful and kind, like children. And the Vorthak had attacked them just to take their planet. Captain Maria Lopez, the intelligence officer, walked over to Ryan. She carried a tablet with information about the Vorthak Empire. "Colonel, I've been studying their military data. The Vorthak are not as strong as they want everyone to think." "What do you mean?" "They use fear to control people. Most of the races they fight give up without a real battle. They've never fought anyone who fights back hard." Ryan looked at the broken city around them. "They seem pretty good at destroying things." "Yes, but that's different from fighting. Look at this." Maria showed him her tablet. "The Vorthak have a big empire, but they only have about 500 real warships. The rest are just transport ships and support ships. 500 ships is still a lot. Not compared to what Earth can build. And their technology is old. They haven't had to improve it because no one has ever challenged them." Meanwhile, Chief Engineer Tony Mitchell was working on the human ships. He had found something interesting about Vorthak technology. "Dr. Green, come look at this," Tony called to the military strategist. Dr. Alex Green walked over to the broken pieces of a Vorthak ship. "What did you find?" "Their armor is strong, but only against energy weapons. Our projectile weapons went right through it. And their engines are slow. They can't turn quickly in battle. So they're used to fighting enemies who can't maneuver well?" "Exactly. Most alien races seem to fight by lining up and shooting at each other, but we use tactics. We move around, attack from different angles, work together as a team." Dr. Green smiled. "No wonder we beat them so easily. They've never fought anyone who thinks like humans." On the other side of the galaxy, War Master Gulathek was very angry. He was the supreme commander of the Vorthak Empire, and he had just received the worst news in centuries. "Tell me again what happened," he growled at Commander Zethkar. Zethkar was shaking with fear. "The unknown ships appeared suddenly. They were bigger than ours and had stronger weapons. They destroyed half our fleet in 20 minutes. And you?" "Run away. We had no choice. Our weapons barely scratched their armor. And they moved so fast. It was like fighting shadows." Gulthik hit his desk with his fist. "The Vorthak Empire has never been defeated. We are the strongest military force in the galaxy. These humans are different, War Master. They fight like nothing we've ever seen." "Humans? What are humans?" "We don't know. They're not in our database. The Galactic Council doesn't know about them either." Gulthik thought about this. For 1,000 years, the Vorthak had been the bullies of the galaxy. They attacked weak planets and took what they wanted. No one had ever fought back successfully. "Send word to all our fleets. I want every ship we have to go to the Zelani system. If these humans want a fight, we'll give them one they'll never forget." Back on the Zelani planet, the humans were working hard to help the survivors. They had set up field hospitals and were treating wounded Zelani. The aliens were amazed by human medical technology. Dr. Amy Foster was working with Elder Vashti to learn more about the Zelani people. "Your healing technology is incredible," she told him. "You can regrow lost limbs and cure diseases that would kill humans." "But your weapons technology is far beyond ours," Vashti replied. "How did your people become so good at fighting?" Dr. Foster thought about how to explain it. Our planet is very dangerous. We call it a death world. The weather can kill you. The animals can kill you. Even some of the plants can kill you. Humans had to become strong and smart to survive. All humans live on such a dangerous world. Yes, and we had to fight each other for resources too. We've been fighting wars for thousands of years. It made us very good at it. Vashti felt sad. That sounds terrible. We Zelani have never had war on our world. That's why you're so good at healing and peace. Every species becomes good at what they need to survive. Colonel Hughes walked over to them. Dr. Foster, we need to talk. My scouts have found something. They walked to a quiet area where Ryan showed them his tablet. The Vorthak left behind some communication equipment. We've been listening to their messages. They're calling every ship in their empire to come here. How many ships? Dr. Foster asked. At least 300. Maybe more. They want to destroy us and show the galaxy that no one can defeat them. Vashti looked worried. 300 ships? That's more than attacked us before. Don't worry, Ryan said. We've sent a message to Earth. More human ships are coming. How many more? Ryan smiled. All of them. Admiral Kate Reynolds was in her command ship, talking to Earth Defense Command. The news was good. Admiral, we have 500 ships ready to go, reported the voice from Earth. The entire fleet is being sent to you. 500 ships? That's everything we have. Yes, the President has declared this a full military emergency. We're treating this as an attack on human allies. Kate felt proud. Humanity had known about the Zelani for only 1 week, but they were already considered allies worth fighting for. What about the Galactic Council? She asked. They're still having meetings about what to do. Some of the alien races want to send medical supplies in a few months. A few months? The battle will be over by then. That's why we're handling this ourselves. Earth will not abandon people who need help. Captain Peterson walked over to Kate. Admiral, we're getting signals from other human ships. They're arriving in the system. Kate looked at the screen and saw dozens of human ships appearing. More were coming every hour. Soon, the largest human fleet in history would be assembled. Captain, send a message to all ships. Tell them we're not just fighting to save the Zelani. We're fighting to show the galaxy what humans stand for. Yes, Admiral. Meanwhile, the Zelani people were watching the humans with amazement. They had never seen anyone work so hard to help strangers. Human soldiers shared their food with Zelani children. Human doctors worked day and night to heal the wounded. Human engineers helped rebuild the damaged buildings. Why are you doing all this for us? Asked the young Zelani to Sergeant Davis. Because you needed help, Davis replied. That's what good people do, the young Zelani thought about this. In the galaxy, most races only help their own people. But humans were different. They treated strangers like family. Elder Vashti called his people together. The humans are risking their lives for us. They don't even know us, but they came across the galaxy to help. We must remember this forever. The Zelani began to understand that they had met something special. The humans were not just strong fighters. They were also kind and generous. This was a combination that the galaxy had never seen before. As more human ships arrived, the Vorthak Empire was preparing for the biggest battle in galactic history. They thought they were fighting to keep their power. But the humans knew they were fighting for something much more important. They were fighting to protect innocent people who couldn't protect themselves. And that made them more dangerous than any weapon. Fleet Admiral Sam Carter stood on the bridge of the flagship UHS Vengeance, watching the biggest space battle in human history about to begin. Through the large windows, he could see the massive Vorthak fleet approaching. 350. Enemy ships moved in a long line, just like they had done for centuries. Admiral, all human ships are ready, reported Captain Ben Rodriguez, the leader of the fighter squadrons. We have 420 ships in position. Good, remember, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for people who can't fight back. Sam had been a military commander for 25 years. He had studied every battle in human history, but this was different. This was the first time humans would fight aliens, And the whole galaxy was watching. The Vorthak fleet was led by War Master Gulthek himself. His ship was huge and covered with weapons. Behind him came the most powerful fleet the Vorthak Empire had ever assembled. "Look at them," Gulthek said to his officers. "They're smaller than I expected. This will be easy." "War Master, our sensors show they have good weapons," warned his second-in-command. "So do we. And we have more experience. We've been fighting for 1,000 years." What Gulthek didn't understand was that humans had also been fighting for thousands of years. But they had been fighting each other, which made them much better at it. The two fleets faced each other in space. The Vorthak ships stayed in their traditional formation, lined up like soldiers on a parade ground. The human ships spread out in a complex pattern that the Vorthak couldn't understand. "This is Fleet Admiral Carter," Sam said over the radio to all human ships. "The Vorthak think they can bully innocent people. Today, we show them what happens when they mess with humanity." All ships attack. The battle began, and immediately the Vorthak realized they were in trouble. The humans didn't fight like other aliens. Instead of lining up and shooting, they attacked from all directions at once. Captain Rodriguez led his fighter squadron in a high-speed attack on the Vorthak flanks. His small, fast ships moved like angry bees, hitting the enemy and disappearing before they could fight back. "This is Eagle Squadron," he called over the radio. "We're taking out their communication ships. They won't be able to coordinate their attacks." The Vorthak tried to turn their big ships to face the fighters, but they were too slow. Human fighters destroyed 12 enemy ships in the first 5 minutes. Meanwhile, the main human fleet was using tactics that confused the Vorthak completely. Human ships worked in small groups, supporting each other and attacking weak points in the enemy formation. "They're not fighting fair," complained a Vorthak officer. "There is no fair in war," Gulthek growled. "Destroy them!" But the Vorthak couldn't destroy what they couldn't catch. Human ships were faster and more maneuverable. They attacked and then moved away before the Vorthak could respond. On the ground, General Susan Blake was leading the human Marines in liberating Zelani cities. The Vorthak had left soldiers on the planet to guard their prisoners, but these ground troops had never fought humans before. "Remember," Susan told her soldiers, "protect the Zelani civilians. Don't let the Vorthak hurt them." Sergeant Paul Davis led his squad through the streets of a captured city. The Vorthak soldiers were big and strong, but they were used to fighting enemies who were afraid of them. Humans were not afraid. "Contact front," Davis shouted as Vorthak soldiers appeared around a corner. The battle was short. The Vorthak were good at intimidating peaceful aliens, but human Marines had trained for war their whole lives. Within minutes, the Vorthak soldiers were defeated. "This is Bravo Squad," Davis reported. "City Block 7 is secure. We found 200 Zelani prisoners. They're safe now." All over the planet, human forces were winning. The Vorthak ground troops were retreating or surrendering. Many of them had never lost a battle before, and they didn't know what to do. In space, the battle was going even worse for the Vorthak. They had lost over 100 ships, while the humans had lost only 20. The Vorthak formation was breaking apart. "War Master, we need to retreat," his officers begged. "No, we are the Vorthak Empire. We don't retreat." But retreat was exactly what they needed to do. The human fleet was destroying them. Admiral Carter's ships moved like a pack of wolves, working together to surround and destroy enemy ships. "This is Admiral Carter to all Vorthak ships," Sam announced. "Surrender now, and we'll let you live. Keep fighting, and we'll destroy you all." Gulthek was furious. "Never. We will fight to the last ship." "Your choice," Sam replied. The human attack intensified. Captain Rodriguez's fighters attacked the Vorthak command ship directly. His weapons tore through the enemy armor like paper. "War Master, our shields are failing," screamed a Vorthak officer. "Engine room is on fire," called another. "We're losing. Life support on deck 12. Gulthek realized that his empire was about to end. The humans were not just beating them. They were destroying them completely. Meanwhile, other alien races throughout the galaxy were watching the battle. They had never seen anything like it. The mighty Vorthek Empire was being defeated by a species no one had ever heard of, Ambassador. Talrun of the Galactic Council watched the battle reports with amazement. "How are the humans doing this?" "They use tactics we've never seen before," replied his aide. "They don't fight like us, they work together as a team? And their weapons?" "More advanced than anything in the galaxy. But it's not just their technology. They fight with a fury we've never seen. Like they're protecting their own families." Talrun understood. The humans weren't just fighting to win. They were fighting to protect the Zilani people. This gave them a strength that the Vorthek couldn't match. Back in the battle, the Vorthek fleet was collapsing. Over half their ships had been destroyed. The survivors were trying to escape, but the humans were faster. "This is your last warning," Admiral Carter announced. "Surrender or die." Finally, some of the Vorthek ships began to surrender. Their commanders realized that continuing to fight would only get them killed, but Gulthek refused to give up. "I will not surrender to inferior beings," he screamed. "Then you'll die fighting." "Inferior beings," Captain Rodriguez replied as his fighters attacked the War Master's ship. The battle for the command ship was fierce. Gulthek's ship was heavily armed and well protected, but the human fighters were relentless. They attacked from every angle, slowly wearing down the enemy defenses. Finally, the War Master's ship exploded in a ball of fire. Gulthek, the Supreme, commander of the Vorthek Empire, was dead. The remaining Vorthek ships immediately surrendered. Without their leader, they had no will to fight. "This is Admiral Carter," Sam announced. "The battle is over. The Vorthek fleet has been defeated." Cheers erupted from every human ship. On the planet below, Zilani civilians came out of hiding to celebrate. They were free. Elder Vashti stood with Dr. Foster watching the celebration. "Your people are amazing," he said. "You risked everything to help strangers." "That's what humans do," she replied. "We protect those who can't protect themselves." "But why? What do you gain from this?" Dr. Foster thought about the question. "We gain the knowledge that we did the right thing. Sometimes that's enough," the Zilani elder understood. These humans were not just powerful, they were also good. This combination was something the galaxy had never seen before. As the human fleet secured the system, reports of the battle spread throughout the galaxy. The Vorthek Empire, which had terrorized peaceful worlds for centuries, had been destroyed in a single day. Other alien races began to realize that the galaxy had changed forever. There was a new power among the stars, and these humans were unlike anything they had ever encountered. The age of the Vorthek was over. The age of humanity had begun. President Carol Thompson sat in her office on Earth, looking at reports from across the galaxy. The defeat of War Master Gulthek had been only the beginning. News of humanity's victory was spreading to every alien world, and the reactions were not what she had expected. "Madam President, we're getting messages from dozens of alien races," reported her aide. "They're asking for our help, too." Carol read through the messages on her tablet. Planet after planet was asking humans to free them from Vorthok control. Some had been slaves for hundreds of years. "How many worlds are under Vorthok control?" she asked. "At least 40 planets, maybe more. The Vorthok Empire is huge, but now that their main fleet is gone, the other worlds think they can be freed." Carol made a decision that would change the galaxy forever. "Send a message to Admiral Anderson. Tell him to prepare the second fleet. We're going to liberate every world the Vorthek have conquered." Admiral Mike Anderson was already preparing his ships. When the order came, he commanded 300 of humanity's newest and most powerful vessels. Unlike the first fleet, which had been sent to help the Zilani, this fleet was designed for war. "Admiral, are you sure about this?" asked Captain Rachel Stone, who was now serving as a diplomat. "We're talking about fighting the entire Vorthok Empire." "The Empire is already broken," Mike replied. "We just need to finish the job. These alien people have been suffering for centuries. We can end that suffering." Meanwhile, Dr. Kevin Shaw was studying everything humans had learned about galactic civilization. What he found worried him. "Admiral, I need to show you something." Kevin said, walking into the command center with his research. What is it, Doctor? I've been studying human evolution compared to other alien species. We're different from them in ways that are hard to believe. Kevin showed him a chart on his tablet. Most alien races evolved on worlds that were safe and peaceful. They never had to fight for survival like humans did. What does that mean? It means we're stronger, faster, and smarter than almost every other species in the galaxy. Our planet. Earth is what they call a death world. Most aliens would die in minutes on our planet. Admiral Anderson felt surprised. Are you saying we're superior to other aliens? In some ways, yes. Our gravity is twice as strong as most alien worlds. Our weather is more dangerous. Our diseases are deadlier. Humans evolved to survive things that would kill other species instantly. This explained why human ships were so much better than alien ships. Humans had built everything to survive on a dangerous world. Their technology was naturally stronger and more reliable, but the most important difference was not physical, it was mental. Humans had learned to work together when facing danger. Other alien species had never needed to develop that skill. On the other side of the galaxy, the remaining Vorthak leaders were panicking. High Command Nexthal, the new emperor after Gulthek's death, was trying to hold his empire together. How many ships do we have left? He asked his commanders. About 200 spread across 40 worlds. But many of our local commanders are asking to surrender. Surrender? The Vorthak Empire has never surrendered. Emperor, these humans are different. They fight like demons. And they're liberating every world they reach. The slaves are joining them. Nexthal felt angry and scared. The Vorthak had ruled through fear for 1,000 years, but fear didn't work on humans. They seemed to get stronger when they were angry. What about our secret weapon? He asked. His chief scientist, a thin Vorthak with scared eyes, stepped forward. The Prime Devastator is ready, Emperor. It can destroy entire planets. Good. If we can't rule the galaxy, maybe it's time to destroy anyone who opposes us. The Prime Devastator was the Vorthak's most terrible weapon. It was a ship the size of a small moon with the power to crack planets in half. They had built it in secret and never used it because they preferred to conquer worlds, not destroy them. Where are the humans now? Nexthal asked. They're liberating the Kethra system. 3 planets full of slaves who have been working in our mines for 200 years. Perfect. Send the Prime Devastator there. Let's see how the humans like fighting something that can destroy their entire fleet with one shot. But the humans were not unprepared. Their intelligence networks had been growing across the galaxy. Captain Rachel Stone had been talking to Freed. Slaves and learning about Vorthak's secrets. Admiral Anderson, we have a problem, Rachel reported. The Vorthak have a superweapon, something called the Prime Devastator. What kind of weapon? Big enough to destroy planets. And according to our sources, it's heading for the Kethra system where our ships are now. Admiral Anderson felt a chill. The human fleet in the Kethra system had only 50 ships. If this superweapon was as powerful as the reports said, they would all be destroyed. Send a warning to the Kethra fleet. Tell them to evacuate immediately. Sir, there are millions of slaves on those planets. If our ships leave, the Vorthak will kill them all. Anderson faced the hardest decision of his military career. He could save his ships or he could save the slaves, but he couldn't do both. Send this message to Earth Command, he said. We need every ship we have and tell them to hurry. On Earth, President Thompson was reading the reports when the emergency message arrived. The Vorthak had a weapon that could destroy entire fleets, and they were planning to use it against humans who were trying to save slaves. How long do we have? She asked her military advisors. Maybe 6 hours before the weapon reaches our ships. What can we do? We can send more ships, but they won't arrive in time, or we can order our fleet to retreat. President Thompson thought about the millions of alien slaves who would die if humans abandoned them. These people had been suffering for centuries, and now they finally had hope. Send every ship we have, she ordered. I don't care if it leaves Earth defenseless. We will not abandon people who need our help. Madam President, that's very risky. Sometimes doing the right thing is risky. Send the ships. Within hours, every human warship in the galaxy was heading toward the Kethera system. It would be the largest space battle in galactic history, but humans had more than just ships. They had something the Vorthak had never faced before, the determination to protect innocent people no matter what the cost. In the Kethera system, the human fleet was preparing for the battle of their lives. They knew they were probably going to die, but they also knew they were fighting for something important. "This is Admiral Johnson," came a voice over the radio. It was the commander of the Kethera fleet. "All ships, prepare for battle. We're going to show these Vorthak bullies what happens when they threaten innocent people." The Prime Devastator appeared at the edge of the system. It was so big that it blocked out the stars. Its weapons could destroy entire fleets with a single shot, but the humans were not afraid. They had faced impossible odds before and won, and they had something the Vorthak didn't understand. They were fighting for others, not just themselves. The battle was about to begin, and the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. The Prime Devastator moved slowly through space toward the human fleet in the Kethera system. It was so massive that its shadow covered 3 planets. On its bridge, Prime Devastator Commander Carthel prepared to fire the weapon that had never been used in battle. "Target the human fleet," he ordered his crew. "One shot will destroy them all." But Admiral Chris Johnson, commanding the human fleet, had a plan. He had studied the massive weapon ship and found its weakness. "All ships, listen carefully," he said over the radio. "That thing is big, but big things move slowly. We're going to attack it like a swarm of angry bees." The human ships spread out in all directions. They were tiny compared to the Prime Devastator, but they were fast and smart. "Fire!" Carthel commanded. A beam of energy shot out from the super weapon. It was so powerful that it destroyed 10 human ships instantly. But the other human ships were already moving, attacking the giant ship from every side. "They're too small and too fast," complained a Vorthak officer. "Our big guns can't hit them." The human ships were like mosquitoes attacking a giant. Individually, they couldn't hurt it much, but together they could destroy it slowly. Captain Steve Murphy led his ship directly at the Prime Devastator's engines. "This is for all the innocent people you've killed," he shouted as his weapons tore into the enemy ship. Meanwhile, more human ships were arriving from across the galaxy. President Thompson had kept her promise. Every human warship was coming to help. "Sir, we have 300 more human ships entering the system," reported a Vorthak officer to Carthel. 300? Where did they all come from?" "From Earth. They sent their entire fleet." Carthel realized that the humans were willing to risk everything to save alien slaves they had never met. This was something the Vorthak could not understand. The battle raged for hours. The Prime Devastator was incredibly strong, but it was fighting the entire human fleet. Slowly, the human ships were winning. "Engine room is damaged," called a Vorthak engineer. "Weapons are overheating," reported another. "We're losing power on all decks." Carthel watched his mighty weapon being destroyed by creatures he had thought were weak. "How are they doing this?" "They fight as one," said his aide. "Each ship protects the others. We've never seen anything like it." On the planets below, millions of alien slaves watched the battle. They had been told that no one would ever save them. But the humans had come anyway. A young slave named Kethver looked up at the sky and saw human ships fighting to free him. "They don't even know us," he whispered to his friend. "Why are they dying for us?" "Because they're good," his friend replied. "Maybe there is still hope in the galaxy." The battle ended when Captain Murphy's ship made a final attack on the Prime Devastator's main reactor. The massive weapon ship exploded like a small star, lighting up the entire system. "This is Admiral Johnson," came the voice over the radio. "The Prime Devastator is destroyed. All Vorthak forces in this system have surrendered." Cheers erupted from every human ship and from the planets below. The most powerful weapon in the galaxy had been defeated by human determination and teamwork, with the destruction of their super weapon. The Vorthek Empire finally collapsed completely. Emperor Nexthal tried to keep fighting, but his remaining commanders refused to obey him. "The humans have destroyed everything," they told him. "We can't fight them anymore." Within days, Vorthek forces across the galaxy were surrendering. Some commanders, like Kethver, who had been watching the battle, actually joined the humans to help free their former slaves. "I was wrong about everything," Kethver told Captain Steve Murphy. "I thought strength came from making others afraid. But you showed me that real strength comes from protecting others," Steve smiled. "Everyone can change. Even former enemies can become friends." The Galactic Council was in chaos. Ambassador Talron was trying to understand how everything had changed so quickly. "In 2 months, the humans have destroyed the most powerful empire in the galaxy," he said to his fellow counselors. "What do we do now?" "We ask them to join the council," suggested another ambassador. "If we can't stop them, maybe we can work with them." "But they've broken all our rules. They acted without permission. They started wars without voting. And they saved millions of innocent people while we were still having meetings about what to do." Talron realized that the old way of doing things was over. The galaxy needed new leadership, and the humans had proven they could provide it. Ambassador Helen Wright became the first human representative to the Galactic Council. She was a calm, intelligent woman who had spent years studying alien cultures. "We don't want to rule the galaxy," she told the council on her first day. "We just want to make sure that no one can hurt innocent people again." "What do you propose?" asked Talron. "A new system. Instead of talking for months while people die, we act quickly to help those in need. Anyone who attacks peaceful worlds will face the full power of the galactic community." "And if they refuse to stop?" Helen's expression became serious. "Then they'll face humanity. And we've shown what happens to bullies who hurt innocent people." The council voted to accept the human proposal. The old system of endless meetings and bureaucracy was replaced with a new system that could respond quickly to emergencies. On the former Vorthek worlds, humans were helping to rebuild. They shared their technology freely with the liberated slaves and helped them create their own governments. Elder Vashti of the Zelani was working with Dr. Amy Foster to establish a galactic medical service. "Your people are amazing," he told her. "You could have conquered us all easily. Instead, you help us become stronger." "That's what friends do," Amy replied. "And we want all peaceful species to be our friends." The galaxy was changing in ways no one had expected. Humans had not come as conquerors. They had come as protectors. This made them more powerful than any empire, because people wanted to be protected by them. Trade between worlds increased as humans provided security for merchant ships. Scientific research advanced as humans shared their knowledge. Wars between species ended because everyone knew that humans would stop any aggression, but the most important change was in the hearts of the galactic citizens. For the first time in centuries, people believed that good could triumph over evil. President Carol Thompson stood in her office on Earth, reading reports from across the galaxy. Every day brought news of former enemies becoming friends, of slaves becoming free, citizens of hope replacing fear. "Madam President," her aide said, "the Galactic Council wants to make you the supreme protector of the galaxy." Carol smiled. "Tell them thank you, but no. Humans don't want to rule anyone. We just want to make sure everyone is safe and free. What should I tell them instead?" "Tell them that humanity will always answer when innocent people call for help." "That's what we do. That's who we are." Across the galaxy on 1,000 different worlds, alien children played in safety because humans stood guard. Former slaves built new lives because humans had freed them. Scientists made discoveries because humans had brought peace. The galaxy had learned that there was something more powerful than fear, more lasting than conquest, and more valuable than empire. That something was the simple human belief that everyone deserved to be free and safe, and that it was worth fighting for. The age of the Vorthek was over. The age of galactic peace had begun. And it would last as long as humans remembered why they had started fighting in the first place. Not for power or glory, But for others who could not fight for themselves, in space stations and alien cities across the galaxy, a new saying became popular. When hope is lost and darkness falls, the humans will come. And everyone knew it was true.